For everyone. I know he's thankful, where he started at Notre Dame College and then coming here as a Penguin and, to have someone in your life there, I think he's raised up the bar and not only in our team room, our running back room, our offense. And, you know, you got to give thanks, not just him. We got a lot of seniors that were here when things were a little bit tougher, and, we're still struggling at times. And, our guys, that doesn't deter you from the success that you can have. And, to see him get what his work deserves and to get that right, I mean, that's special. Guys, I don't know if you'll see that again, and to know that he was a Penguin and right now he's in the top of that NCAA. And, for us, I'd like to pad it a little bit.
He is something special. Like, not just physically, but like when we're in here talking to him, he's alluding to the fact, without directly saying it, that his offensive line wanted that more than even he did.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's a testament to like his character, not just his
Mm-hmm.
ability. Is that something that you can kind of speak to?
Well, if you look at what true leadership is, it's helping those around you succeed. And Jalil always put himself. He wanted to win more so than the record, but just him. The he's selfless. He works. He's team first. I've seen him grow not only as vocally as a leader on this football team, his work ethic. So what happens is guys really want to fight when you have a brotherhood. They want to take care of that young man. They want to do what's best for him. But I think he's just raised up the level of every player to be the best version of themselves.
We see the social media posts of professional teams to come in here and watch practice and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
From him specifically, what's the sell on Jaleel? Because at the next level, they don't really care about your record. They
No.
how hard you work. They want to know what character.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's character. I mean, great kid. He's a leader. He cares about his teammates. He's great in the locker room. Work ethic wise, second to none. And I still think he can, put on a little weight. He's probably 188. He could probably carry 195. They want to know that too. Uh, we use him. He's a gunner on punt. I mean, not too many 8,000 yard rushers are running down as a gunner on punt. So I think they see that. And, selfishly, we didn't put him out there for punt returns or kickoff returns. And, those are the things that I think he can do at next level. When you try to make it, it's going to be on special teams first. So knowing he can be a gunner, knowing he could be a return man with maybe not seeing as much here as maybe he did at Notre Dame College. But he does so much for our offense, that, we got to take something away from him. But I know he can do that. And, can he split out and play wide receiver at times and be that dual backfield slot? Those are the things that, I think he can do. And I think when they come and they watch practice and they watch film, they watch his work ethic, they watch his finish. I don't know. I don't have the exact numbers, how many yards he has after contact, but you watch that touchdown run, or you watch his long breaks. I mean, there's probably, 4 contacts before he breaks it. So his yards after contact tells you how strong of a young man he is.
When he was coming out of high school and wasn't recruited as a running back, you're recruiting kids. He
Mm-hmm.
kind of bet on himself. I'm going to go as a running back. Is that aggravating as a coach, or do you kind of like the chip on your shoulder that says, no, listen, I'm going to work to prove you wrong?
Yeah, and how he didn't get recruited, I don't know. You're talking about a young man that won a state championship in basketball. So if you probably went and saw him play basketball, you're going to probably say, wow. He was a state champion in track, and for us, I hope that when we're recruiting, we love 3-sport athletes because their ceiling once they get here, when he's not running track, when he's not playing basketball, and his full focus is on football, that his ceiling is so much higher. And I think Jaleel is an example of that, where he was a 3-sport athlete, probably didn't spend much time in the weight room. When he came here, we had to work on his pass protection. We had to work on his strength. And all those areas in 2 years have increased so much. It's because his ceiling was so high. So, as a head coach, I tell my coaches that you got to find athletes. You got to look at the 3-sport athletes and what their ceiling can be. And we have a lot of guys in that locker room that weren't recruited, but I know one thing: if you put them on a basketball court, they're probably pretty good. If you throw them on the track, they're pretty good. Now it's our job in the next 3 years to develop them as football players. And so I'm excited for a lot of those guys that you don't even know that practice every day and get reps that probably were the same as Jaleel, didn't have many opportunities. They're 3-sport athletes, but they have the size, they have the speed, they have the athleticism. Now it's our job to develop them. Yeah, I mean, I thought it's been a playoff game since Indiana State. When you're 2-3, you're fighting every week, to get back into that fight, and I think Southern Illinois did the same when they went on their 5-game win streak. I mean, all of us, that's our goal. Our ultimate goal is to make the playoffs. And, when you start the season 2-3, every game is critical. And now we get to November. I mean, this is what you work for. This is when we're in the off season. This is what we dreamt about when February 8th, taking the job and meeting with the team in 2020. This is what you dreamt about. This is the work that you put in to play a significant game in November. Probably 80% of the teams in America on Saturday aren't playing for much. And we have the opportunity to play for something very important.
Do you feel if you win, you're in?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Missouri Valley Football Conference. If we can control one thing, and that's winning. I'm sure, I know Southern Illinois believes if they win 6, beating Northwestern, that there's going to be a chance. I think the average Missouri Valley Football Conference over the last 10 years, 4.76 teams get in. Last year a 6-win Northern Iowa got in. Well, why do they get in? Because they have a reputation. They have a reputation that they win when they get in the playoffs. What has Southern Illinois done the last 3 seasons? They win when they get in the playoffs. So they're going to come in here fighting for the same thing we're fighting for. And to be able to have those type of games, to me, it's a home playoff game right now. And loser goes home. Loser packs the season and gets to the off season. So, as a coach, what's our job is to make sure we have the mindset ready to go for Saturday. We put everything behind. I told you, big win or losses, you got to put that to bed. We got to have our mindset ready. And I still don't think that this team, we talk about November performance, I still don't see this team, and I told them, play their best football yet. I've seen spurts where we play great defense. I've seen spurts where we have great offense. I see spurts where we have great special teams. But when you get to here, mid-November, you got to be running on all cylinders, and you have to play your best football. And as coaches, I told coaches that we got to put our kids in the best situation to play fast and to be able to execute and have a November performance.
When you talk about being selected as a committee and all this and reputation, is it conference reputation or is it program reputation? When this team got in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
there was something to say.
Yeah, I think it's both. I do. And those are things we can't control. Just like in a game, I can't control referee throwing a flag, can't control the weather, and might get upset over it. But guess what? We have control of what we do. Win games. I said, we didn't win Saturday, so that puts, you got a tougher hill to climb. All we can focus on is being the best version of ourselves when Saturday at noon comes against a very, very good Southern Illinois. You look at Southern Illinois, I think 8 of their 9 games, they're winning in the fourth quarter. Shoot, we weren't winning against Illinois State the last 5 seconds. So, Southern Illinois and us, we've gone through our struggles, and we're both finding ways that, to get over those struggles and don't allow that to deter us from being successful come this Saturday.
How many teams do you think you'll take? You said an average of 4.67.
Yeah, that's just a stat I saw. I don't. Dane, our kids, I'm trying to prepare our kids to play a football game against a very good Southern Illinois team. The playoffs, you know what? I tell them we win, and guess what? We're in. And how many teams, who they take. I couldn't even tell you, how they come up with that, but we got to focus in on being able to execute on Saturday and be able to perform the best. Like I said, we got to play our best come Saturday.